Use unfinished tasks to hack your brain. Have you heard of the Zeigarnik effect? Have you woken up in the middle of the night thinking about that email that you saw but forgot to respond to? Have you interrupted your friend in the middle of a conversation just to check your phone and send the message that you had typed but forgot to send? Have you heard a catchy song at the party only to forget it the next day and then trying hard to recollect it? Do you find it difficult to remember stuff after exams are over, despite remembering everything before the exams? If you've experienced these scenarios and situations, you're seeing the Zeigarnik effect in action. Zeigarnik effect. In 1927, Kurt Lewin, the founder of social psychology, noted how waiters in a cafe seemed to remember incomplete tabs more efficiently than the complete ones, those that were paid for. This caught the interest of one of his students, Bloom Zeigarnik. Lewin's observation seemed to suggest that the mere completion of a task can lead to it being forgotten, whereas incomplete tasks are better remembered. Zeigarnik decided to test and explore this further. She conducted a series of experiments wherein participants were given a set of tasks such as solving math problems, placing beads on strings, solving puzzles, etc. Half of the participants were interrupted halfway through these tasks and the remaining half were allowed to complete the tasks uninterrupted. Both the groups were later questioned to understand what they remembered of the tasks they had completed. Zeigarnik's results confirmed Lewin's initial observation. Those who had their work interrupted were twice as likely to remember what they had been working on compared to those who weren't interrupted. Other variations of this experiment also had similar outcomes. She published her initial studies in the paper, On Finished and Unfinished Tasks, in 1927. The Zeigarnik effect postulates that people remember uncompleted or interrupted tasks better than completed tasks. Implications. We all see the implications of this in our day-to-day lives. Unfinished tasks create a tension which keeps them pervasive in our heads. Our brains have a limited working/short-term memory but receive a ton of information from all directions. To deal with this overload, we rely on a number of tricks to help us remember better. Zeigarnik effect is an example of this. By thinking of uncompleted tasks often, we better remember them as we keep pulling it back in our awareness and at the forefront of our memories. This effect provides great insights into how memory works. More importantly, we can understand its working in various situations of our lives to help improve them. Let's see how we can use the Zeigarnik effect to our advantage. Number 1. Beat procrastination. This is by far the most important implication of the Zeigarnik effect and the best possible use of it. A lot of us have a tendency to put off tasks until the last moment, only to pick it up a day or an hour before the deadline. We then try tackling the entire work in a short duration. This never works. Even if it does, we end up creating a suboptimal piece of work. One way to go about solving this is to take the first step. No matter how small or imperfect it is. Once you begin, this task will remain in your head until you finish it. You'll probably end up finishing this task in a series of small steps, but the outcome will be well worth it. Eat the elephant, one bite at a time. Number 2. Improve your presentations and keep your audience hooked. There is a reason movie trailers get us excited and ad jingles are hard to forget. The advertising and entertainment industry has been using the Zeigarnik effect successfully over the years. A movie trailer creates a feeling of an unfinished project that we must complete by watching the movie. Taking a cue from this, we can use this effect to create and deliver compelling presentations. Create suspense and provide a glimpse of your content right at the beginning of your presentation. In Zeigarnik's terms, this creates a cognitive tension in people's minds that gets resolved only when they see the details. Your audience is hooked to the presentation to the end to ease this cognitive tension and get closure. They will pay attention to the details. Number 3. Study better. We all know that studying small chunks daily is better than trying to cram everything at once. Now we know why. Spaced repetition is one of the best strategies to learn effectively. By breaking your study sessions and learning incrementally, you have a better chance of remembering information. Take a break. Momentary interruptions do more good than harm. Number 4. Enhance your mental well-being. Heartbreaks are painful, It is worse when you've had no closure. This unfinished activity keeps the memories of the relationship at the forefront, creating anxiety, sadness, and stress. Closures are important for us to move on. Similarly, our unfinished tasks, no matter how big or small, can cause stress and anxiety. It is important to recognize this. Zeigarnik effect can serve as a great reminder to work on them. Completing these tasks can lead to feelings of accomplishment and boost our self-confidence. It is beyond the scope of this article to discuss strategies to get closures and finish the important tasks in our lives. You'll find a ton of great content online to help with that. However, the point to note here is that our brains, by design, have a tendency to keep looking for closures and finishes. It is important we are aware of this and help our minds get there. When a thought refuses to shoot off our head, take a step back and reflect. You are possibly noticing Zeigarnik effect in play. Understand the root cause unfinished tasks and either create a plan to finish them or as a thought or advantage and get the work done. This story was written by DipeshJain. Check out his profile on Medium.com. Subscribe for more content.